Traveling to Amsterdam is the stuff of dreams for a lot of people. It's foreign enough to be exciting and familiar enough to feel safe and comforting. Whether you enjoy world-class museums, architecture, history, or the nightlife, there's definitely something for you to do in Amsterdam. Be sure to plan your travel itinerary with our list of the best places you must visit in Amsterdam. Before we start, be sure to like and subscribe to see more amazing sights. Number 10. The Royal Palace. The Royal Palace in Amsterdam is the official residence of the King of Holland and was built in 1648 as a town hall. The rulers at the time had an unusual taste, so the architecture is modeled after the buildings in ancient Rome, which makes a fascinating statement in the modern city. You'll get an idea of just how wealthy royalty can be when you stroll around the impressive Royal Palace. Number 9. The Nine Streets. The Nine Streets is a historical area that has a lot of quirky charm packed into a relatively small area. The shops here are all unique, unusual, and have a flair that isn't often seen in these days of department stores, which makes them a joy to explore and experience. This is the kind of area that gave Amsterdam its reputation as one of the most laid-back cities in the world, so it's an absolute pleasure to spend some time exploring it in detail. Number 8. Blijberg Aan Zee. Amsterdam itself doesn't have many places to swim, which is why this location is the perfect addition to any trip. The beach is located off a man-made island and it's just a short tram ride from the center of the city. The beach's laid-back atmosphere encourages sunbathing, swimming, and spending time with friends, so give into it and just have a wonderful break from the busy heart of the city. Number 7. Vondelpark. Amsterdam's permissive nature also extends to their wooded areas. This is one of the few parks in the world where you can indulge in behavior not usually allowed in public, with a few exceptions. This park is also popular with the locals as a place to exercise or just hang out in nature. And there are trails all over the park as well as a rose garden and an outdoor theater if you want to get even more from the experience. Number 6. The Bloemenmarkt. This is a floating flower market set along the southern bank of the Singel. It is actually a very practical market, which supplies fresh flowers to Amsterdam. But its popularity with tourists and locals alike have caused it to expand, so there are now stalls selling other souvenirs unique to this part of the world. You can do some shopping while in the area and you'll find clogs as well as other uniquely Dutch souvenirs. Number 5. The Westertoren. There's nothing like seeing a new city from high up, and in Amsterdam, this is the best place to do that. You'll be able to see the city in a whole new way and in a small group as well, so there won't be any pushing or jostling for the best photography spots. It's also one of the best historical spots in Amsterdam, which is really saying something in this city. Number 4. The Anne Frank Museum. The Anne Frank house isn't awesome in the sense that it's fun. Far from it. Instead, it's a sad reminder of a dark time in the world's history. It's also a site that's familiar to a lot of people. In most schools, the Diary of Anne Frank is required reading. It's another thing to see the house in real life, to imagine her everyday life, her fear, and even her tragic ending. This is something that everyone should see at least once in their lives. Number 3. The Red Light District. This is the area that makes Amsterdam famous, and it's also the area that causes the most controversy. If you have any qualms about whether Amsterdam is safe or object to some of the more permissive sides of the culture in Amsterdam, then it's best that you avoid this area. This is also definitely not an area where you would bring children. But, if you're curious and careful, you'll see a whole other side of the city when you spend time in this district. Number 2. The Van Gogh Museum. The man hated and reviled in his own time and yet now almost universally loved. The pictures he painted showed life at its most beautiful and vibrant, full of light and color in a way that ordinary people can't see. Through the Van Gogh Museum, you'll be able to glimpse a work you will rarely get to see, and that's definitely worth savoring. A visit to Van Gogh's legacy is an essential thing to do in Amsterdam. Number 1. The Rijksmuseum. If you're an art lover, or just want to see some of the most amazing pieces of artwork in the world, then you need to spend some time in the National Museum. Not only will you be astounded at how different the art looks in real life versus in the pages of a book, but you might just discover a new interest in Dutch painters. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe to see more wonderful places to visit. Comment your favorite places and we will make a video showcasing it.